The Sword and Shield era brought in many new things. It also ushered in many new changes to the Pokemon market that became permanent. Were these changes and new things actually good? Well, I think they were both good and bad. First, let's start off with the most important one, which is the pull rates. In this era, pull rates dropped a lot. From the X and Y era to the Sun and Moon era, it went from 1 in 9 packs to 1 in 7 packs. From the Sun and Moon era to the Sword and Shield era, it went from 1 in 7 to 1 in 3. That's a big drop. Now, this did have many positive effects. It got many people back into collecting. It made ripping packs much more enjoyable, fun, definitely made opening packs on YouTube get more views and be more successful. And it overall just made everybody much happier with the market. And personally, I do think that this is a good thing. But it is also worth mentioning that it didn't just bring in the good stuff, but also there were some negatives. And the first main one was PSA population skyrocketing. In this thing, you can see that the Umbreon VMAX, this is the Moonbreon one, has 10,906 in PSA 10. This is the largest number really we've seen in forever. Normally cards would maybe have 1,000 rarely in PSA 10, probably less. And again, this is also counting because again, there were so many packs printed too, and this brings me to my second issue, which was that there was really just a lot of also overprinting of sets. And this caused also, with the pull rates getting better and better and more of these cards being available and in the market and circulation, it caused this number to go up. And it's going to continue to go up, and while you might think, well, these cards are still valuable, like the Moonbrown goes for like over 1,000, I think 1.3k in a PSA 10, yes, you would be right. At the same time, though, it could have gone for more if there were less. And it makes sense, too, because if there's less in the market, there's less in supply, and if there's a lot of demand and supply is less, then it means prices will go up. So that was one major downside. Now, again, I personally agree with making the pull rates better. I think it's more fun to rip packs, and these cards are still valuable as the data has shown on TCG Player and all these graphs, even price charting too. But I guess really, I think now aside from just the pull rates and the overprinting of sets toward the end, it also brought in the expansion of sets. And by that, I mean sets just became bigger. With, like, Evolving Skies, there were so many secret rares. There were so many ultra rares. I mean, it also popularized alt arts, and which became a thing at the end of the Sun and Moon era where tag teams kind of were introduced and shook up the market. But this was the first era to actually just go full swing with them. I mean, they full on outplaced rainbows. That was a new thing in the Sun and Moon era that everybody wanted. And I think that this also paved the way for illustration rares and SIRs, which are just really another version of trainer galleries and alt arts. And now even in the Scarlet and Violet era, there's still so many of these being printed or being made in each set. Now, I mean, also I think the biggest thing was trainer gallery. There were always full art full art normal Pokemon since the X and Y era, but definitely this popularized them a lot. And I mean, I guess there are different trainer galleries or a different expansion, but let's be real, it's the same thing, the same set, pull them in the same packs. Now, I think that also the question I guess really is like, was this make the Sword and Shield era bad? Do all the bad things make it bad? And I would say no. I think overall the Sword and Shield era was a really good set, even for investing, and has shown that even if you make the pull rates better and there's more in circulation, it can still be successful and get a lot of people paying lots of money for these cards, which I think is really all you want, or most of what you want, if not all, in investing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for